methods, and then this part. Now you see syntax also we did. Syntax also we did. Now after that we did one program also. How we added, how we added, how we added, how we added instance data members. Last class we already added one object. Added one object. See instance data members and class. Okay, 1 minute more. Sorry. I will open in the paintbrush. I will open in the paintbrush. See once you see. This one you see. Number name marks are called instance data members. And then this CRS is called what? Is called what? Class level data member. Class level data member. So yesterday we applied our first methodology. How do you add the data members to the object? How do you add the data members to the object? See I added yesterday. See student. How I added the data members to the object? By using object name dot, object name dot, object name dot. Whenever you create an object, what is happening? This is a picture in the memory. This is a picture in the memory. So this is a picture in the memory. I told already in the last class. I'm just recapitulating. Whenever you create an object, whenever you create the object, so this is going to be taking place. Inside of it, nothing is going to be there. Nothing is going to be there. We added the data. SO1.stno. SO1.stno. No need, no, don't give any space, ma. Don't give any space. SO1.stno. We are giving number is equal to 10. We don't give any space. SO1.stno is equal to 10. SO1.marks is equal to 66.66. To the SO1 object, we actually still advanced thing. If I tell you now, you will really wonder, sir, is this much is there, sir? I will tell you that wonderful point. That wonderful point, if I tell now, you can ask this question to anybody. Nobody can reply it also. And OOPS features, if you see as on today, Python is a king as on today, because Python they did some new feature in the 3.8 and 3.9. Some extra benefits they provided compared to Java. What is that extra facility? I will tell you, sir. So we learned the first mechanism. First, I want to give you the clarity here. Types of data members. See, this is called SO1. We added the data. SO2, we added the data. And we printed the ID of it. And we printed that values also. Yes, ma Durga Prasad, I already told you. Let me come to that. Static method I did not explain. Right? So, if you tell now only, I am not going to teach only one student. Static method I did not come so far. Okay, now? I did not come to static method. If you say, sir, please tell me, sir, can I run behind you? Ma? So, I'm going for teaching in certain order. Please understand me. So, I cannot run behind of one student, right? I will explain, I said. Tomorrow, Saturday, you will become a king, I said. Why don't you wait for a king position? One day before only you want to become king. How it is possible? Some day is required. I'm going in certain order. We are going on asking, please tell me, sir, what? I'm also human being, Nama. So I'm going in a certain order, you are disturbing me. So understand, Ma, please. Right? Please let me go to it. So now I want to go for second program also explain. Student 2, example student. Here, what is the special thing I introduced? CRS. What is the CRS? All of you, please tell me. All of you tell me what is CRS. What is CRS, ma? Class level data member. Where I wrote the CRS? Please, where I wrote the CRS? I wrote inside the class definition. Where I wrote, ma? Inside the class definition. Okay. Now let me come out of that. See G colon. So I will say KVR Python 4 p.m. This one. Now I'm saying oops. Now I'm going to take classes also. Now see ma Python. Now what is our program name? Student example 2. I'm giving certain type of thing like that. Student stud example 2.py. So I'm getting the number. number I am getting, and then plus name, number for first student I got it, and Om Prakash record and KVR record is there. And the common value is called Python, Python, Python like that. Dear student, assume that this is one way where I written inside the class. And how I represented instance data member. This is the main story here. Instance data member, how to represent in the object. One is called what? True object I mentioned it. Second way also I am going to tell you very shortly. Dear student, one more way of specifying the class level data member I will tell you. Look at very carefully, because I should teach very carefully where you should not get micro level doubts also. Because I have to teach everything plus so clearly. Okay, see, I will not write CRS here. Student example 3, third program I am taking. Here I will write pass mark. Here I will write pass. Okay. Third program. This is one way. How do you write class level data member? Two ways. One is in the class inside directly. One more I am writing mark. See, I am writing here only in the main program only. I will write what? Student dot CRS is equal to Python programming, Python PROG or Python PROG. Directly I am writing PROG, Python PROG. I am writing Python PROG. And don't think that is two values. I am writing only one value, Python PROG. Where I written as a class name I wrote it. Before the object creations, I called with respect to class name. This itself is acting as outside the class. How I wrote with respect to class name dot CRS. Are you understanding? This I will print it. How I will print it? SO object is created. Values are specific. SO1 dot SO1 dot SO1 dot. Display the data. How I am displaying the data? SO1 dot CRS. You can also call it as what? Student dot CRS. No problem. Here also you can write what? SO2. You can write what? Student dot CRS. Here SO2 object is created. Om Prakash. Now, yes, one more object you want to create? I can create one more object. How I am creating? You see, print of SO3 I am writing. SO3 dot STNO. Add the data members to SO3. This is SO3. This is SO2. Now I will say SO1 is equal to 102. SO1 is equal to 102. D Prasad, Durga Prasad. Next I am writing something like I am writing here 66.55, and then SO3 I will write. To the SO3, an empty SO3 object is created. To that I am adding the data members. SO3, I am writing SO3 number. I will write SO3. See, just execute this program once more. Dear students, execute once. Fine. Now I will say SO3. Fine, come out of that. Now you execute. Student 3.py. See, you will get the same kind of output. Python PROG. Right? Now if I want to take a common course for all of them is called what? Java. You can write that Java also. Execute it. I got Java. How I represented? Outside the class with respect to class name I mentioned. Even happily you can write what? You can call with respect to object name also. SO1 dot I can say. Happy. SO1 dot. Here I can do what? SO1 dot I can say. SO1 dot. Here I can say SO1 dot also. Here I will say SO1 dot also. You can call class level data members are common for all objects. You can call with respect to class name. You can call with respect to object name also. No problem. See, execute it. See, you got it. You want to change the subject, you can change. One time if I change it, DS, data science I wrote. If I change one time, it is reflected to everybody. Dear students, am I clear? Avinash, it is not a global variable. It is a called what? Class level data. Because the global variables are those which are using directly. But I am writing with respect to what name? Class name. Dear students, is it clear, ma? Yes, sir. Very good. Now, tell me, I want to go for, at this level of time, I want to talk about types of data members in Python language. Types of data members in a class of Python. Shall I go for that? Now I am writing the concept which we learned. I am writing here. I am writing here. What are those things? I will write. I am not finishing that. At the end, I will say that this is a story. Types of data members. Types of data members in Python. Types of data members in a class of Python. 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 Yes. So, C in a class of Python. Yes, ma? Android, Blue, Bird, somebody, Android. Only so1.crs. Can we use so2.crs too? so2.crs to where, ma? That is. Yeah. Who is this person is playing the video? Venkatesh. Venkatesh, your video is playing in middle of my screen, ma. It's disturbing me. So SO1, okay, here, okay. You can write SO2 also. You can write SO3 also. Yeah, it's see, ma. Somebody is asked SO1.crs, SO2.crs, SO3.crs. For all these things, this is common for everybody. Data science and AI is your common course. Run it, no problem. Any number of times you run. Ultimately, your breath oxygen is what? Coding. Without coding, people are out. People are out, I'm telling to you. DS and AI. Wherever there is a coding is there, it is a evergreen you are. It is a story I'm telling. It is a real facts I'm telling to you. Okay. Now tell me, for my satisfaction, types of data members in a class of Python. How many types of data members? We have, I'm writing, I'm going to start the cinema. In Python, we have two types of data members in a class. Two types of data members in a class. They are number one. What is that? Instance data members. Today I want to give the clarity of the data members in methods. Instance data members, right? Instance data members, and the second is called what? Class level data members. Class level data members, right? Two types of data members are there in a class of Python. Next I'm going to take differences between instance data members and class level data members. Or first I will talk about this is, we can call it as a differences you can take, or one by one you can take, whatever you take. That's I will give you in the form of like this. Differences between instance data members and class level data members. Differences between instance data members and then what? Class level data members. Class level data members. So compulsory we must learn this type of aspect. Sir, I will explain these things with respect to instance data members. First I will write it. First instance data members I will write. Next I will write class level data members immediately. I will write immediately. And I am not going to close this thing now itself. So it is going to be continued up to last. First I will write it. First and foremost point I am writing. What is that? Instance data member. First one, this is called. For my satisfaction, talk about it. These data members are used for storing what? Storing specific values, particular values in the object. Right. And hence, I will continue. And hence, these data members are also called object level data members. Object level data members, they are called. Object level data members are called. Right. Next, the memory space the memory space created the memory space created for for instance data members. Memory space is created for instance data members. So the memory space is Ganesh, what are you doing, ma? What are you doing? Please listen the class. Don't try to search for your Google, what do you call it, Zoom controls. Okay, please listen the class. What are you doing also, I will come to know from here. Mr. Ganesh, I'm requesting to listen the class. Don't search for the Google Zoom controls. Okay, please. So the memory space is created. The memory space is created for the for the instance data members every time when an object is created. Memory space is created for instance data members. Memory space is created for instance data members every time when an object is created. When an object is created. That's why these data members are used for also called object level data members. Right? So you can say used for storing values, and hence these values. I will write better. I will write this statement here, and hence memory space is created, all called when an object is created. So this object is created, and these data members are also called object level data members because they are creating when an object is created. Okay. So first we understand its purpose. Next we understand when it is creating, and next I want to go for how we can access it. Instance data members must be accessed. I'm saying the rule. It's a rule I'm passing it. It's a rule I'm passing it. Already you learned also. With diagrammatically you learned. Object is created, sir. SO1 contains number, name, marks. SO2 contains number, name, marks. SO3 contains number, name, marks. So when that is containing, because you need to learn so perfectly the statements. See, when I take this type of statement, see ma, once you look at these words, I'm taking here this type of statement. What I'm writing here, you see, I'm writing these statements. For example, I'm taking these statements. Okay. Now, in this case, what is happening? Here? Memory space is created. How the memory space is created? So here the memory space is created. Object is created. Here object is created. In this object, what is there? SO2 will be there. SO2. Object is created. SO2. In SO2, this address is going to be different. Z. For example, 2, 3, 4. So this is something. Inside of it, what is there? STNO is equal to 101. Next is called what? S name. S name is equal to Om Prakash. So I'm writing here Om Prakash. Next is called what? Marks is equal to 65.655. Like this. This is called one object. Like that, one more object is there, for example. Like that, one more object is there. SO3. SO3 object is there. Whenever I create another object, what will happen? Suppose I will take here. What is happening? You see, one more object is created. With this, what is happening? Here, like this, it is created. One more object is created. SO3. This is called SO3. Yeah, this is containing number. STNO is equal to 102. So something like next is called what? S name is equal to some D Prasad, something like this. Next is called what? S marks is equal to, or just marks is equal to, I'm writing 66.55. This is the data we had. Whose address is K, some 3, 4, 5, or something like 899, like this. So different objects. This is the data of this. Okay, and this is a data. Object is this one, and this is called one more object is created. So what is happening here? This is already object is there. So each object is containing your own data, like every student is having its own values. Right? Right? Fine. So coming to the point of it, Bilal, carefully look at ma. Carefully listen. It's not like that what you are expecting. So you are going to something other level, other side. You just follow me. You just follow me. Okay? Follow me carefully. So I did not explain you what is a constructor. If I explain constructor na, you think that you whatever you have already done already. That is a blunder. That is a blunder. Okay? Please follow me. So I'm saying to you, forget all your old knowledge. That is old knowledge somebody taught, that is a blunder. Nothing is going to be happy. Nothing is going to be helpful for you. Right. Come out of it. How many objects are created? Tell me for all of you, for my satisfaction. How many objects are created? 3 objects are created with the 3 different IDs are there, with the 3 different values are there, and then I'm going to enter into the marks. I then enter into the separate values. Right. Now, instance data members must be accessed, must be accessed, must be accessed with respect to, must be accessed with respect to what name? Object name. Object name. Sir, how do I access object name? How do I access object name? Here only I will write object name dot instance data member. Instance data member. I can write. After some time, I will add one more thing to it. I will write comma self also. I can write it self. Since you don't know self, that's why I'm not saying anything, because without knowing, I don't want to write. But I will write some dot. I'm leaving. After 2 minutes or after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I will come and write. Okay, that's why pending that is pending. Later I will write it. Okay, right. Up to that, leave it. So instance data members we can add through an object. Instance, we out of many approaches. One of the approach I'm writing. One of the approach to add. One of the approach is we can add. One of the approach is that we can add instance data members. Instance data members through an object. Through an object name. Through an object name. This is the one you need to understand at this time. Now I'm going for class level data members. Class level data members will be the next we are writing. Still I will add some statement here. Don't worry. Still I will add one more thing here. Second approach is there. The second approach also is there. Third approach is also there. I will tell you that. Nothing to worry. Okay? Class level data members. So class level data members are those. Class level data members are those which are used for storing what values? Common values. Common values. I am writing common values which are suitable for all. Used for storing common values. Okay. Next one I am going to talk. How much memory space is created one time? Each and every time? One time only. I will say the memory space is created for class level data members. Class level data members. Class level data members. Only once. Only once. I will write only once. Only once. Irrespective of irrespective of number of objects are created. 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 The memory space is created for class level data members only once, irrespective of number of objects are created. Okay, irrespective of number of objects are created. Fine. Now, how do you access? Instance data members must be accessed by using object name. One more is also there by using class self. You can use it, but I'm not writing that unless and until I will show you. Here also I'm writing, dear students, that you already found in my class. What is that? Class level data members. How many ways are there to access? Class level data members can be accessed. We can access. Can be accessed with respect to what name? with no, accessing I am talking about. Accessing I am talking about. Please. Accessing. Specifying is different. Accessing is different. Accessing means like this. See, I called so1.crs. I can write what? Class name also. What is my class name? STUD. STUD. Student. Okay, student. I can write student. See, student. So1.crs. Student.crs. Now I will write so3.crs. No problem. So it is going to print the result. It is going to print the result. See that same result is coming. How many ways are there to access? How many ways are there to access? Class level data members can be accessed. Class level data, Praveen Kumar Kolala. Praveen Kumar Kolala. So please switch off your video. So class level data members can be accessed with respect to object name. And first I will write with respect to what name? Class name. With respect to what name? Class name. Comma. We can comma. Or I can write what? Object name. Or we can also write one more also we can write. That is called a CLS you can use. CLS. I can say CLS we can use. CLS also I can write, but I don't want to write CLS now itself. I want to show you. So tell me, Ma, I am going to say to you, class level data members, we seen that two things. In our program only we have seen. We, with respect to object name, with respect to class name, with respect to this CO, SEO, object name, class name. Later, within this class only, I can show you with respect to what also you can access. CLS also we can access. Right. How many ways are there to, totally 3 ways are there to access the class level data members. Bilal, all of you. 3 ways are there totally to access. One is by using class name, one more by using object name, one more by using CLS, one more by using CLS. But I don't want to show. I will say pending topic it is. I will show you that. Here also, this is pending. Object name, or we can use self. Self we can use it. How to do that? I am going to show you that. After writing, then we will go for it. Right, Ma? Next, how do you specify? See, one of the approach is that we can add or create. We can add or create instance data members through an object name, through an instance method, through an constructor also we can use. But at this point of time, you don't worry. One approach it is clear. Now I am writing. Tell me, class level data members. Class level data members. I am writing. Class level data members can be created in 2 ways. In two ways. There also many ways are there. Can be created in many ways. I can write many ways. Number one, what? Within the class, write within the class name, write within the class name, which you have seen already. Next, what? Out of class name. Within the class name, we can write. Out of class name also we can write. Out of class name also we can write it. Out of class name also we can write it. Out of class name also we can write. Within the class name also we can write. How do you write within the class name? I already mentioned it. In the syntax only, we mentioned it. Within the class name, class level data members. Before all the methods, class level data members. In the example you see, I mentioned it. Student.crs. Out of the class with respect to class name. Here you see student2 inside the class. Out of that, I mentioned like this. So I can write out of the class name we can write it. With respect to what name? Class name dot. What is that? Class level data member. Class level data member is equal to value. This is the syntax of it. And both of them are there. I shown you. See, student.crs I shown you. And in the class also we have mentioned it. Up to here, Up to here, up to here. Yes, ma. Bruce Lee. What is that syntax? What is the syntax? Out of class name. Okay. Yes. What is that? Class name dot. Class name dot. Class level data member is equal to value. Yes, ma. Bruce Lee. What is happening? 3 times you said. Class name dot. Out of class name. Out of class name. That is out of class definition. You want me to write? Out of class definition. I can write. Okay. Here on. Class level data members must be accessed with respect to class name or object name. I will write it. I will write it. Line number 27. Okay. 27. Object name dot. Okay. I will write it. So what is that? Object name dot. What is that? Class level. Class level. Class level data member. One more also I can write it. Class name dot. Class name dot. What is that? Class level data member. Anything you can write it. Either this way you can access or this way you can access. One more way is also there. Using CLS also we can write. Using CLS also we can write. That I will show you and I will mention it. Up to here, are you confident enough? Up to here, are you confident enough? Only 1 or 2 things I will add. Then you will come to know class level data members. Shall I move forward on? If you permit me, I will go to types of data members. Today we understood. Let me save it to our notes. Let me save it to our notes. I will save it to my notes. Right. Done. Types of data members we understand. Yeah. All of you permit. I will go for types of methods in Python. I will go for it. Types of methods I am going. Yes, permitted. Now I am going for types of, what is that? Come on to the point of it. 1 minute. I will go for, take the normal text. I am writing here types of methods in the Python. Types of methods in the class of Python. Types of methods in the class of Python. Okay. Types of methods. So I am saying here types of methods. I am writing in a class of Python. Yes. How many methods are there, ma? How many methods are there? 3 types of methods are there. In Python programming, we have 3 types of methods. 3 types of methods. They are I am writing number 1. Number 1 I am writing. What is the number 1? Number 1 I am writing. It is called instance method. I will explain. Don't worry. Instance methods. Second one is called class level methods. Class level methods. One by one I will show you practically and I will define. Next is called what? Static methods. Static methods. 3 types of methods are there. One is instance method. Second is class level methods. Third is called static methods. Now, dear students, I will write now. Instance methods I will explain first. Instance method I will explain first. Very, very dangerous because beginning it will be bouncing. Something maybe chance is there to bounce it. That's why I want to explain very carefully. Look at. I told you yesterday, one small point also I told you. What is that point, ma? If you remember me, instance methods are used for what? Just to look at that here, ma. Calculation of marks of each and every time. Marks M1, you got M1 marks. See M1 marks. Next is called M2 marks. Next is called M3 marks. I want to calculate the object level operations. Suppose all my students who are present here, 203 students who are present here, they all want to do what? Marks I want to calculate. All my 203 students marks I want to calculate. To calculate the marks of my 203 students, I need to call one method 203 times. Because one time if I calculate that, the total is not a total for everybody, right or not? Because different people are securing different type of marks. Definitely, I need to go for calculating the marks of every person again and again. Yesterday, one more example I told you, LIC. You took a different premiums from LIC. and different people are completing their premiums different times. I need to calculate the premium of all the people one by one. So now M1, M2, M3 are called values. Need to calculate the total. So I need to calculate the total on the object name. So if I create 203 object 203 times, I need to call the method. See, I will give you one more clarity here. One more clarity I will give you. One more clarity let me give you. Suppose I have created L1 object ma. L1 is equal to list ma. List I created. Next I created L2 is equal to list I created. L3 is equal to list I created. List I created. Now L1 is empty, L2 is empty. L2 is what? L2 is going to be what? Empty. It is empty here. Empty this is called a empty object. This is empty object. This is called a empty object. This is called a empty object. You know, empty object. This is also called what? Empty object. Now I want to add the data to L1. I want to add the data to L2. I want to add the data to L3. Adding the data to L1, L2, L3 is a common or specific. Now carefully think about it. Carefully think about it. I want to add L1 data. Specific, that is Rajkamal. Very good. Specific. L1 dot append. I am writing append of Rajkamal. Right? Rajkamal. I added. So L1 is containing Rajkamal. Append method is working on L1. Again, I will add L2 dot append of something like Satyam. Next, append L3 dot. I will write L3 dot append of Vani. For example, Vani. I added like this. Tell me, ma, append function is what type of function? Append method is what type of method? You tell me. If you really follow me, append function is what type of function? Instance method. Excellent, ma. Sravanti, excellent. It is called instance method. It is called instance method because it is adding the values separately. So separate it is adding. It is called instance method. All the methods of list class are called append methods. Suppose L1 dot remove, L2 dot remove, L3 dot remove. Removing from that object only, instance methods are in Python. 70% of the role will be done by instance methods. I can say 80% of the methods are called instance methods. Just to make it granted. Because we will call every time. Yes. So instance method. Clear also it is going to be that one. So coming to the point of it, Prabhat. Yes. So coming to the point of it, here also I am going to say, tell me, instance methods, these methods are used for, tell me, these methods are used for, come on ma, these methods are used for, tell me, I want to know that, are used for performing, are used for performing what operations? Specific operations. These methods are used for performing specific operations. These methods are used for performing specific operations. On objects. Okay. And one more thing, these methods can operate. These methods can operate the operations only on objects, and hence these methods are called what? Object level methods. These methods are called object level methods. These methods can do the operations. These methods can do the operations. These methods can do the operations. These methods can do the 1 minute. I will adjust. These methods can do the operations only on objects, and hence these methods are called object level methods. These methods are called object level methods. Perfect. Next, I am going to introduce how we can access this, where we can write this instance methods, sir. I will write it. I will show you this operation. I will show you this operation. Dear student, I am writing instance methods. Instance methods must be written inside of the class must be written inside of class definition. Inside of class definition by taking self. I will tell you about the self in a very easy way. Self as a first formal parameter. That is a very, very important. Self as a first formal parameter. As a first formal parameter. First formal parameter. Okay. So self is what? Self is a keyword or not? Self is a keyword or not? Yes, ma, all of you. Is self is a keyword? Yes, sir. But I will say, okay. Self is a keyword. Okay. Now, let me move forward to that. So I will continue, but by giving some type of example. Now I am giving some example. Shall I go to the example? Now I am keeping, I will write it. Other points also I will write it. Other points also I will write it. Now to write other points, I need to go for one example. Shall I go for an example? Will you permit me to tell you the example on instance method now? Yes, sir. Now I am going for example on instance method. First time I am going to define the class now. Let us students please look at Python. I am going for Python. So let us look at that. So perfect example I will give you. Now EMP employee example1.py. First employee example1.py. Look at. Yes. Class. See all of you. Class. Name of the class is called employee. Name of the class is called employee. How easy it is. Inside the class, see, very coolly I will go for it. Methods I want to define. Method is nothing but what? Function only. Now I am writing def. Method name. Self. Block of statement. This part only I will speak for 5 minutes. You will understand like anything. Look at my def. Later I will write data members plus functions. Def. Now get employee details. EMP details. Get the EMP details of self I am writing. Okay. Now I am writing pass. Pass means what? After 2 minutes, I will tell you the definition of this. After 2 minutes, I will tell you the definition. Come on. Once we define a class, is of no use because class does not contain any memory space. What to create immediately? Tell me, ma, what to create immediately? Object need to create. How do you create? EO1 is equal to, dear students, employee. Please recapitulate your figure. Once you say employee EO, I will take immediately one big figure. Employee. I will write EO is equal to like that. Immediately, do you know what is happening? One object is created. What is that object? EO1. EO1 is created. What it is containing? What it is containing? X, 1, 2, 3. X, 1, 2, 3. X, 1, 2, 3. Earlier, I used to talk about what? EO1 dot EO, like this I used to write it. EO1 dot ENO is equal to EO1 dot ename is equal to EO1 dot what marks is equal to EO1 dot sal is equal to EO1 dot designation is equal to DST is equal to. Like this I used to add the values. But today I am changing my trend because adding the values to EO1 is an operation. which we learned already. This trend I don't want to go today. I want to go for another way. How what I'm doing? What I'm doing, dear student, if you understand me, EO1 dot get 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 EO1 dot get, or if you follow me, append also I will say append employee values. Append employee values. I will write like this. It's a nice employee values. Append employee values. EMP values. This is a function. This is a function. How it is processing? Please tell me how it is processing. Append employee values is a method. Append employee values is a method called with respect to EO1. Called with respect to EO1. EO1. EO1 is an object of what? Employee. EO1 is an object of employee. It will go to which class? Employee class. How it is going? Here I will write it. Just for a minute more. Class employee. Because this is a very, very sensitive point. Everybody should pay good attention here. Employee. See what I wrote here. Def. Append. Of course, I took a big method. Employee values. No problem. Employee values. And what I took there? Self I took it. No problem. Self. Do you know, sir, what is happening? EO is there in the main program. And when you say EO1 dot append employee function, your PVM will put a question by itself. What is that question? EO1 append values, append EMP values function called with respect to EO1. EO1 is an object of employee values. And immediately your PVM will go to employee class. See, your PVM will go to employee class, looking for the append values method, looking for the append employee values. See the flow, how it is doing. And you know one thing, when it is coming to append employee values, I need to take the instance data members now. I will take the instance data members now. Here I will write body. Inside of append employee values, I need to add the values. Which one I need to write it? Which one I need to write it? EMPNO is equal to. Next I need to write ename is equal to. Sal is equal to. DSG is equal to. DSG is equal to. What is this? Inside the object any values are there. They are known as what? Tell me. Inside the object values are there. They are known as what? Which data members they are called? Yes? Very good. Instance data member. Come on, how the flow is. Please look at that carefully. Append employee values method called with respect to EO1 by PVM. PVM is immediately going to where? To employee class. Looking for PVM will go to where? Employee class. Looking for what? Append employee values. Do you know when the PVM is going to this place? PVM will carry the ID of EO1. PVM will carry ID of employee values. PVM will carry ID of employee values. PVM will carry values of PVM will carry the ID of EO1 ID. That is a very, very important. PVM will carry the ID of EO1. Why it is carrying the ID? Because there is one more object may be there. You see, after 2 minutes, I will write here like this. EO1 dot EO2, sorry. I will create EO2 is equal to employee. Some more object I am taking. Here I am writing EO2 dot append EMP values. This is called another function I have. So EO1, EO2 I need to append the values. EO1 also I need to append the values. EO1 I need to append the values. EO2 also I need to append the values. So your PVM should know to which object you are appending the values or not. PVM should know to which object you are appending the values or not. Yes, guys, please. Yes or no? Yes or. What is the suitable factor to decide which object you are appending the values? Who is the most important one? Who is the most important one? ID is only the most important one. That's why your PVM will carry the EO1 to the method. That ID of your object is stored in the self. Is stored in the self. So self is one of the keyword. Your PVM will preserve the object of EO1 inside the self. Inside the self. ID of your object. ID of your current 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 object stored inside of self. Tell me, self is containing what? Self contains what? Object of ID of your current object. ID of your current object. Enough. You know how to tell like this. ID of current object. What is self? What is self? ID of current object. ID is a keyword, ma Durga Prasad. That is not important. What is the purpose of self? I am asking. Self contains what? ID of your current object. Current object. ID. So to that ID. So tell me inside how I will access self dot. What is that? EMPNO is equal to 111. 111. Rajkamal, good. Self dot. See how I am writing self dot ENO. What is self? Self is nothing but what actually? Self is a keyword, ma, no problem. Self contains, see students, 1 minute, ma, stop all of you. Self is a keyword, 1 point you learned. Self contains what? ID of your current object. Okay, second point you learned. Now when I wrote self dot means what? Which object is taken? Don't tell current object. Self is your current object. Excellent. Which object? EO1. EO1, ma, EO1. Yes, one, no, ma, Karthik. EO1 contains whose reference? Current object. What is my current object? PVM. PVM is dealing with which object? EO1. EO1 address is present in where? Self. Somebody will ask about, speak about self. Speak about self. Self is a keyword. Okay. Second point. Self contains address of current object. Okay. Next what? Self can be used as a first formal parameter in the instance method. Finished. This is the story of self, ma. Are you following me? Are you following me, everybody? See, ma, inside the method, what is this line? Self dot EMPNO. Now tell me how I am mentioning my instance data member earlier. How I was mentioned in instance data members earlier by using object name. By using object name, I used it. Yes or no? How I used it? By using object name. Object name, object name, object name. Object name, object name, object name. Here also object name, object name, object name. Yes or no? Yes. Now I am mentioning the instance data members by using what? I am mentioning the instance data members by using what? Self. Self is nothing but object address only. Self is nothing but object address only. Yes. By using CH Durga Prasad, see your charter window, by using star. What is that using star? Self is not there. Self dot. Tell me, e name is equal to I am writing something like KVR. I will write commands, for example, KVR. Next, self dot. I am writing here. Shall is equal to something like I am writing 2. Next, I am writing self dot. Now I am writing DSG Vijay Kumar. Please switch off your video. Now self dot. Now I am writing DSG is equal to trainer. I am writing like this. Now, last and final. This self is containing what object? Ah, come on. Now, when you don't respond, you will get confused. When you get a confused, again, if you ask, I cannot explain. Damn sure. Because I am not going to speak about 1 minute. I am speaking about minutes by minutes. Is it understandable or not? EO1 is called an object which you created. To that object, you are entering the data through methods. Through methods, you are entering the data. Tell me, all these values are adding to whom? These values are adding to whom? These values are adding to whom? These values are adding to which object? To the object called EO1 is added. Come on, next you come to this point. So this line we understood. This line it is clear for you, sir. Next one I will talk about it. What is that next term? Next EO2 dot EMP values. Come on, same flow. Same flow. Yes. Come on. Yes, ma. Satyam Sharma. Okay, take care of your own risk. Come on, next. Okay, man. Okay, take care. EO2 dot append values. Append employee values. So EO2 dot append employee values. Where it is going? Same flow. Same flow will be taken. So it is going EO2. Yeah, append employee values called with respect to EO2. EO2 is an object of the employee. It is going to employee class. Looking for the append values method. And self is containing whose object? Self is containing an address of what? Excellent. Excellent. EO2 contains the self. Earlier, who is that? Karthik, what, ma? EO2. Excellent. EO2. Earlier, self was containing whose date? Whose one? EO1. Now, self is containing which is my current object? Which is my current object? EO2. Self dot EMPNO. Self dot ename. Self dot sal. Self dot DSC. Is this self pointing to EO1 na? Self pointing to EO2 na? EO2. So I will add, sir. I will add here E self dot. This is called EO2, sir. EO2, sir. Here I will write. See, EMP number is equal to 112. Next is called ename is equal to something like RS. I will write something like RS. Now I am writing. Sal is equal to something like 56. And next DSC is equal to is called what? Is called what? Developer. Is called a language developer. Is called a language developer. Right. Now, dear student, now I just mentioned it. Now tell me, one time I was developed this method, am I calling again and again or not? Is it reusable or not? One time it was reusable for this, another time reusable for that. I can reuse many number of times or not? Yes, but I used what? Self one parameter. Am I clear about this example? Is it clear about this example, please? Am I clear about this instance method? Yes. Now I want to show you. Now I will show you. Dear students, please look at me. I will say append. Simple one I will write it. Append EMP values. Append EMP values. Shortcut I will take. Append EMP values. Append EMP. If you get confused, I will write completely. Append employee values. Now I will remove. I will remove. See ma. Print off. I will write it carefully. I am from append EMP values method. Append EMP values method. Yes. Now I will say something like I am writing. See ma. I will write like this. Just to look at how beautiful example this is. Now I am saying. Now I want to print. What is that? EO dot EMP self dot I will write. Compulsory must write self dot EMPNO. You take your own data member. This is an instance data member is equal to 111. Self dot ename is equal to something like RS. Ename. I will write ename. Next I will write self dot self dot shall is equal to something like 5045. Next, self dot dsc is equal to is a developer, is a or scientist, he is a language scientist, for example. Done. So you see ma, eo1, I will call that object eo1 dot. This is before the method, before calling the method. What are the values of before calling the method? What are the values of before calling the method? eo1 is equal to employee. eo1 is equal to employee. What are the values of eo1? Empty. This is called empty. Rajkamal, come out from Java. This is called what? Empty. I shown you already. Come on. Before the method calling, before instance method calling, because this is a very, very important part. Before instance method calling, I will write what I'm writing. Before instance method calling, what is that? Print of values of eo1 is equal to comma eo1 dot, I told already, underscore dict underscore. Okay, let me save this code once, because you need to be so careful enough in this area. Okay, right, come out of that, you see eo1 dot pi, I will say this. Got it? What are the values? Nothing is there, empty. Now I want to call, this is called what? Self method. Self method means compulsory I must call with respect to object name. Sir, how do you call, sir? eo1 dot. See how I am calling? Append employee values method called with respect to eo1. eo1 is an object of employee class. PVM control goes to employee. Append employees values. This eo1 reference ID will be kept into self dot. Values will be done. Now I will show you. Now you see. Beautiful. Value of eo after instance method calling. After this is before calling empty. After instance method calling. See that answer. Example. See that no? Before instance method calling, nothing is there. This is called. Now you see. After calling instance method, what is happening? You see. This is after calling. Here, you see. This one I will write after this, so that you will get the clarity. Okay. Now you see. Execute. Now you see. This is before calling. After calling instance method called, is the values are filled or not? Come on, are you calling or not? Yes, sir. Values are filled here. Done. Perfect. Are you understanding, ma? Is everybody is understanding? Are you understanding, everybody? Perfect, huh? Yes. Now I will go to a little important part. Sir, now you remove, sir. Now I am saying, all of you, please look at my once, sir. Please look at. I will remove this part. What is created? Now you remove everything. Now you remove everything. One object is created. Now second object is created. eo1, eo2 is equal to employee. Carefully follow. Don't leave the class. If you leave the class, you are out of order. I am telling. Don't leave the class. You will become very many problems when you don't listen it. Now, for Avinash Mishra, if the doubt which you are asking now, this is already covered in the class. If you don't concentrate, you will get a problem, Amma. Raj Singh, are you following, ma? Now you call eo1 dot append values. Append employee values. Append employee values method called with respect to eo1. eo1 is an object of employee. Control goes to employee. Looking for this append values method. Okay, this also remove it. We already observed it. What values are placed? These values are placed. EO2 also if I write, EO2 also if I write, what will happen? Is it placing the same values or not? Is it placing the same values or not? Yes. But would you like to place the same values? Would you like to place the same values? No, sir. Then read the values. Int of, see, beautiful programming. Int of enter, enter, employee, enter, employee. I am writing employee number, employee number, employee number. Now see guys, enter employee name. I will take enter employee name, enter employee name. Next, yeah, now I will take float. What is that now? Enter employee salary, employee salary, enter employee salary, right? Float. Now I will take enter employee designation, enter employee designation. Are you following? I am going to what? I am going to what? Dynamic approach I am giving. Dear students, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable, students? Yes. Right, ma. Moreover, dear student, you see, for a minute, it is calling the first employee details. First, EO1 address is stored in where first time? Self. EO2 address is stored in where? Self. Self. Sir, how do you know that, sir? Please show me the ID also, sir. See, ma. Print of ID of EO1, ID of EO1 in main program. IO1 ID of EO1 in main program is equal to sir ID of EO1. One practical proof I am showing. One practical proof I am showing. Okay, now EO1. Next I will write EO1 ID of EO2, ID of EO2 in main program. ID of EO2 in main program. I will write ID of EO2 written like this. Now here, for a minute, you don't worry, ma. This you don't worry. I will write. Okay, let it be no problem. Inside of it, I will print. Print of ID of current object. ID of current object. ID. Just I will write ID. ID is equal to ID in method. ID in method is equal to comma. Tell me. Very good. Very good, ma. Kaushal Tata. Self, I will write it. Self. Why? EO1 only coming in self. ID of, when I said ID of EO1, why don't you write it? The ID, EO1 alias name is self only, ma. I wrote self. Come on. Enjoy the result. Enjoy the result now. See how beautiful output will come now. Execute. See. ID of EO1 in main method is this one. ID in method also same to same. Sheikh Bilal, follow this, right? 1111 RS. Next is called salary 23.45 and is called a scientist. What is happening? Employee. What is that, ma? Employee. Some spelling mistake is there. Okay, Bilal is saying that only, na? Okay. Spelling mistake is there. Okay, done. Execute that now. EMP example 1 dot. See, ma, ID. Whatever ID it is taking, same ID will be passed to method also. Employee number is called 1. Employee name is called RS 23 designation. See, EO2, whatever the ID is there, same ID is going to the method also. Employee number is called 112. Same thing like what? Kaushal. And the salary is called 2.3 and is called what? SE. And he got the data. So how many objects are created? I will print the data now. See, ma, how many ways are there to specify the instance data members? 2 ways so far. Yes, ma, self you can write. Kaushal Tata, you can print self dot dict also you can print happily. Now, so how many ways are there? 2 ways are there. One is by using what? Object name dot. One more way is what? By using what? Self dot inside the instance method. Are you following? Right. Now I want to print the data. How I want printing the data? Come on. Now I will go for def. You said Now I will take one more instance method. I want to print a employee data, first employee, second employee, third employee, fourth employee. I want to print everybody. I will say display. See, I will write one more method. Display employee values. Tell me, what is the parameter? Display employee values. EO1 data, EO2 data, EO3 data, EO4 data. What is required? Excellent. Self. Excellent. Super. Self. EO1 data, EO2 data, EO3 data, EO4 data. So what is self is holding? Self is holding employee 1 data, employee 2 data, everybody's data. Yes, please. Now I am writing. See, ma, I will just mention like this. I will just mention like this. Now I will mention one more point, ma. One more point I will write it. I will write this line. I will write it detailedly I will write it. What is that? See, first one, print. See how I am accessing now. Employee number. Employee number. Because this is a wonderful class today. Employee number. So I am writing dot format of. Tell me. I will write EO1 dot append employees. EO2 dot over. This is over. Now I am printing what? All the employee values I want to print it. How do you print it? EO1 dot display employee EMP values. Come on, flow. Display employee values called with respect to EO1. EO1 is an object of what? Employee. Control will go to where? Employee. Looking for what? Display employee values. EO1 address is kept in where? EO1 address is kept in where? Self. Print that values. How do you print? Self format of. Tell me, what should I write here? I'm waiting for it. Excellent. Self dot EMPNO. If you don't concentrate, Karan, why do you use for loop? Why do you use for loop? Is it any looping statement required? No. Employee name. Employee name. Come on to the point. E name. I will write E name. Next, I will write what here? Employee salary. Employee salary. It's not necessary to print in the same order. You can print a designation also first. No problem at all. Designation. Order is not important. Whichever you want, you can print it. DSG. Next, I will write what? Employee salary. Yes. Now I am going to get self dot cell. This is the data. Come on. I called only one object. Only one object I called. EO1. One object only I imprinted. Just to look at. One thing you see. Done. See. Number called 1. Already we had some data. No? Yes. So I will write like this. Now, second number also I am going to enter. Second number also I am 1112. Like that. Like this. What is that? What is happening? Something like spelling mistake may be there. Spelling mistake is there, ma. I will just take care. Display EMP values. Display EMP extra E came. Display employee values. Some spelling mistakes. When you get a spelling mistakes, no problem. See, ID will be same. ID will. Who is that person? Is switch off the video. Realme C11. Realme C11. Okay, Realme C11 is just disturbing my class. I will see for 2 minutes. If he stops, okay. Stopped. So, number is called what? 11. And next is like this. And see, it is cutting. Next is called what? Next is called 112. And next is like this. And got only first object data I got it. Second object data also I want to get it. How do I get it? Call one more time. How do I call it? EO2 dot employee values. How do you do that? EO2 dot display values. Display employee values. Execute. Now see, ma, carefully see that all objects are same. Self is containing the same ID. Normal object also contains the same ID. Last and final you say. So I will say like this, and I got it like this. Next I will enter like this. I will enter. Now I got it. See, first object data done, and second object data also came. This is purely done. Purely you see previously. I printed purely with object name. In this case, purely I did with methods or not? I did with methods or not? Yes, sir. Which methods these are called? Which methods these are called? Which methods these are called? Instance methods, sir. Don't leave the class. Don't leave the class. Please look at instance method. Dear student, if you want, I can print a ID. In this method also, I will print the ID. In this place also, I will print the ID for my satisfaction. Last and final, you see. In all the places, ID will be same. For my satisfaction, 1, Shravani. Shravani. Next, salary, 3.4. SC. SC. Okay. Seema, Shravani object ID is going to be same. This is called where? Accepting method. Append method. Right. Will be same even in display method also when it comes to that. Second, employee number 2. Employee number 2, Shravanti. 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 So his salary is called 3.4. 3.4. Designation is called what? Senior SC. Senior SC. So, Seema, in this ID, what is that? 496. 496 is similar to 496. Shravani ID is same. And this ID, Shravanti ID is also going to be 400. 400 in all the places same in leave only. Are you getting this beautiful program? Dear students? Please, now I am telling open secret. One open secret I am going to tell you. Yes, guys, all of you, don't leave the class until I said don't leave the class. Yes, please come. Please come. Now I am writing. Yes, come on to the point. Still, I will tell you more things. This is only I entered only 40 in the classes and update. I entered only 40%. Still, I will teach more and more. Come on. Now I will go to self. Self. Is it compulsory to write or not? Is it compulsory to write or not? Everybody. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, dear student, it is not compulsory to write self as self only. Right. Now I will write KVR self. KVR self. KVR. Now I am writing self also remove. KVR I wrote. KVR. Dear student, see the wonderful property of it. Because this is a compulsory question in interview. Is it compulsory to write the same name as self? Like that they will ask you. Here I am writing. Here I am writing. What is that name I am writing? Bruce Lee I am writing. Bruce. B-R-U-C. Bruce Lee. B-R-U-C. Bruce. Here I am writing Bruce. B-R-U-C. Now you see KVR I wrote. I wrote here, of course I am just modifying that. In place of self I am writing KVR. No problem. PVM will carry the ID of every object to that method and put it into the first parameter, whatever it is. That point I want to tell you. Here, Bruce, it is nothing but after all one formal parameter. Bruce, I used it. Here you write what? Instead of self, I used Bruce. Happily we can use it. Happily, because this is the first question coming in interview point of view. Dear students, here I will write Bruce. Here I said Bruce. I said Bruce. Here I am writing self. Here I write Bruce. Save this code. Now execute again. Now execute. KVR and Bruce are the first formal parameter. First formal parameter always storing by our PVM as the ID of the current object. It is not only necessary to write self. You can write any object name. But an international standards of Python, the international standards of Python, to make all the people to understand, they said that it is a convention. Follow that, write self they recommended. Did you understand, students? Let me execute. Seema 492, 992, 992. So I will enter what? I will enter 1. I will enter Shravani and like this. Second object 896, 896. Next I will enter what? 2. 2 I will say 70, like this I enter. Seema 992 of 992 KVR is holding here and Bruce is holding here. Bruce is holding here. Is it? Are you understanding, ma? Tell me, is it compulsory to write the name as self only? Is it necessary to write self as self only? No, sir. You can write your name also. You can write your name also, but international standards is concerned. If they permit to write whatever you like, they permitted to write whatever you like it. But is your project leader will understand that it is a self? No, sir. That's why For the international standards is concerned, they recommended for you to write always what? Self, self, self. Now I am going to replace self, self, self. Now I am going to write self, self, self. Dear students, please notice this point. Please notice this point. Are you understanding? Is self is mandatory to write on the same name as self? No, sir. Any name you can write, sir, but you can do that, sir. Now, please move to the yes, 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 ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Farin Ansari. Thank you, ma, for your comment. Yes, because we are teaching these whoop switches in Java at the industry level. We are entered into the research, and when I enter into the further, you will say, ma, what is your standards in Python? Nobody can catch your even 20% also cannot catch your standards. But I am giving guaranteed for you. Guaranteed for you. Coming to the types of methods, ma. Tell me, instance data members must be accessed with respect to what? How we accessed, ma, in this place? How I am accessing? Self dot, self dot, self dot. How you can access, ma? Types of data members. Types of data members must be accessed with respect to what name? Self object name or what? Or what? What also? Self. I can write here. I can write here. I will write or self or. This is what? After understanding, if I write, it is most important and you can easily understand. Self, I can write it. Self dot instance data member. See, one of the approach is to add or create instance data member through an object name. Through an object name. One more is by using what? Another approach to add. Another approach is that to add instance data member through what? Which method? Through which method? Instance method. Through what? Instance method. Are you following? Instance method only means through self only. In the bracket with self. That is implicit, ma. With self. Right, students? Are you okay? Today, are you okay? This is instance data members completely we understood. Still, program will be continue. Instance method only able to complete. Next, how many methods are there in Python? How many methods are there in Python? Class level methods are there. Static level methods are there. Now that I will introduce in tomorrow class. I will still it is there. I will continue in tomorrow class. I don't write anything. I can write instance method written inside the class by taking self as a first parameter. Instance data members are used for. Instance methods are used for performing the operations on object level methods. That's why they are called. Okay, so self is holding the object name. So some more points I can write it in next class. These points I am not disturbing anything. Next class I will write it because in the hurry point I don't want to write. Later I will go for what? Class level methods I will introduce tomorrow. Just I will keep subheading. Otherwise you will forget that. Because you are so busy. So you will forget. That's why I am writing. I just write subheadings. Tomorrow I told you 5:45 you will be the king in classes and objects. I told you I have to keep my words as it is. Otherwise there is no meaning on that. Whatever the words I said, I should keep my words as it is. Otherwise there is no meaning of it. So that's why by 5:45 tomorrow, I should be make it as a king in the class. Up to today, are you clear? Up to today, are you clear? Yes. So show the program once. Program is this one. But this code, whatever the code is there up to yesterday, I uploaded. So wait for up to tomorrow. I will upload tomorrow class. Yes, ma. Shankar Jadhav. Thank you, ma. Thank you for your appreciation. Srikanth, I already uploaded, Nama. Please upload the PDBC notes, sir. I am asking. One more thing I want to say. One more thing, Ma. Please listen. This is an important announcement. Even Srikanth sir told me that. Because we have more strength is there in the class. Please remember all of you, Ma. 1 minute you see. I am giving one number for you. 8. Because we have more than 200 students, Google Classroom Drive is not supported for more than 200 students. They are not getting some messages. They are not getting some messages. So once again I am giving Srikanth sir number. You just to take care about that. You just tell him the you send a message after 7:30. KVR sir batch 4 p.m. Please add me to the Google Drive class, you say. I'm giving his number, and then please send the message. Whoever is not getting the messages, whoever is having the Google Drive classroom problem, you please send the message. I'm giving his number. Please note it down. Please note it down. I'm giving 630 to everybody. I'm posting that 6302 6302 968 968 and then 665 665. This is the number of Srikanth sir. You please talk to him and add. You send a message. Don't talk to him. Send a message. Our batch name 4 p.m. Python, faculty name KVR, and then add to Google Classroom Drive. This is a message I am giving to you. This is a message which I am sending in your place. You please take care. Okay, ma? Please take care of it. Yes, ma. Yeah, Harvesh. Yeah, you can understand, ma. Once hoop switches are there. Yes, ma. Thank you for your appreciation. Right. Right. Raj Singh, what is your doubt, ma? Raj Singh, your message is scrolled up, ma. Your message was scrolled up. Naveen Kumar, Raj Singh, class first method instead of self. We put KVR. Other methods we can put self, vice versa. Yes, ma. Raj Singh. Yes, exactly. Tomorrow class when I come na, you will get all these things completely. Completely you will get it. Yes, ma. Srikanth, I will check, ma. I will check and I will go for that one. Durga Prasad, I said many times for you. This is a Python programming only. Okay, na? This is Python programming only. I told already in the class. Right. Yes, ma. Sheikh Bilal. If Edit Plus is over, you can recap. You can take that and you can drag and put it into your taskbar, and then you do the operations. You do the operations. Right. Raj Singh, you can learn Dijang also, no problem. You can learn it. No issue at all. You can learn it. Fine. Right. Thank you. Good day. Tomorrow class, we will meet. Don't miss tomorrow class. Ma. Very, very important. Very, very important. Yes, ma. Pala Sanjay Kumar. Excellent. Congratulations, ma. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, Naveen Kumar, I told ma this is a Python programming only. This is a Python programming only. Yes. When I'm going to start, now 9 o'clock batch is started newly. There we are added that extra we added. Yes, Naveen Kumar, extra we added with the data science level. We are slowly going to the data science level also. We are adding to the data science level. We are entering into that level. Yes. Thank you. Good day.